latest episode of March. This episode really was my favorite episode, actually. The title was Love on Top, and that's what it was about. It opened up with this really nice and sweet engagement between a former band member and the current Black Fox. So that was cute. Also, I think that engagement pretty much the couples that are in the band, I think it got them thinking about their future with one another. In addition to that, Cardavian not coming back to the band. Our boy Nehemiah, we learned that he actually has a boo, and actually learned that he was a drum major in high school, so that should help him on his quest to become drum major at Prairie View. I love the fact that they focused on the drum major, Jalen, his faith. Okay, so love that about him. And then also it was cool to see the twins' parents because I think I told y'all in previous episodes, I actually marched with them. But what I do want to focus on is they talked about the ESPN band. And this was the episode, exactly, the ranking. And they talked about, this was the episode where they learned that they were ranked number 1. Okay. And so what I did is I did a little bit more research because I wanted to understand why are we so fixated on this ESPN ranking. I didn't quite find that out, but I did learn what they are, the judging criteria. And the judging criteria is pretty solid. I don't know who the judges are, but the criteria is pretty solid. But again, they focused on the band and how they were number 1. But what I did learn for the entire year, this same organization, this undefeated, they ranked them number 7 overall for the entire year. Okay. Who they ranked number 1 was Norfolk State. That's questionable to me. Maybe I'm biased, but I've always felt as though the SWAC, outside of the SWAC, the better bands were FAMU and Bethune-Cookman. Now that they are in the SWAC, it's hard for me to believe that any other band outside of the SWAC would get a ranking of number 1 in
East Coast bias.
It had to be. I'll go and look at Norfolk State, but whenever you're talking bands, you never hear anyone mention them.
I've seen them. It's no
there's even right now a TikTok challenge where everyone is basically imitating the Bethune-Cookman drum majors.
They do have a pretty good band to be that size, and they do have some pretty good percent. But you're the expert. But when you see it, look at them relative to sound, overall volume, depth in music. And I saw them play. I was like, they're pretty good, but they're not number 1.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike trying to break down tonation, and
I thought I'm like, Mike about to try to tell Shaunetta what the hell a band is.
They may be a top 10, but I think a lot of people, when you see them do things like that, they'll put like Tennessee State or Norfolk State out there. A lot of times they do that because they know what to draw buzz. So it's about getting the feedback so they can get their rankings up and people will come to their page or whatever versus, versus really doing the work that Shaunetta would do in terms of analyzing. And that's why we started a poll in terms of where.
And when I bring up East Coast bias, I get strange looks. You can bring it up, ain't nobody gonna say nothing. But when I bring it up on the show,
I don't know what it is. Again, I am willing to go and do the research and watch a few of Norfolk State's shows, but I don't feel as though that I'm going to think that they were better than FAMU, Southern, Bethune-Cookman, FAMU, or Jackson State. I just don't. But again, maybe I'm SWAC biased.
Let's go back to the show. So
that's okay.
You probably are, but that doesn't mean that you're not accurate.
Right.
Facts.
So the show,
sure.
Love is in the air. I know the band they're around each other 24/7. Is that just how it is? Just you love who you around, you love who you see. So band relationships, they've always been that frequent.
Yeah. I mean, you're either in love or it's your brother, your sister. I mean, you're together all the time. And I've always said, men that like me in the band, God bless you, because we look rough. Women look rough. you know,
You know exactly what
and-
you getting, Jack.
exactly.
Secrets.
No
Exactly.
surprises.
I know what she looked like early in the morning. I know what she looked like late at night. I
Yes.
know what she looked like in the middle of the day.
Give him the
You'll
natural.
never find.
Yeah.
But no, it is, you know, I can only speak, of course, from, well, listening to them. I mean, they put in just as much work. But when we were there, you know, we were in practice from 5 p.m., depending on the week. If it was a Southern or Grambling coming up, you may not get in until to midnight. You know,
I ain't
and
have time to
sometimes
date
1,
nobody
2
else.
o'clock. Right.
Yeah.
And so then when you go, you're performing, and I believe it was Nehemiah in this episode, he's saying it's hard trying to explain that to someone who's not in the band,
Yeah.
because even when you're not at practice with the band, you still need to practice. There's still some they call it woodshed. There's still some individual practicing that you need to do. So I mean, band is life in the fall.
So basically,
It really is.
it's like you better find you a cute clarinet player.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Cello
You
player,
go.
somebody, because you ain't gonna have time to find nobody.
There you go.
I would say I was disappointed to know that Nehemiah grade slipping. He
Yeah,
got to get
yeah.
on top of that. That may cost him the opportunity at being a drum major.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nehemiah, if you're listening, get your grades right, boy.
Please. Please.
Not bad on the roller skates though.
The fact that you're a music major at that, you need to get your grades up.
I wasn't even gonna go there, but since you brought it there,
I'm just saying.
you a music major, man. Come
Yeah.
on, that's what you do. It ain't that hard. You just gotta kind of show up to class, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Well,
a little
no,
more complex.
It's a little bit
We're
more
not
than
gonna-
that.
Joe,
There's
what
theory.
you
Silently
saying,
step
Joe?
away from him on that one.
Joe,
There's theory.
Joe said
There's
that.
history.
All you gotta do is show up to class.
It's like a communications major with a C. Stop it.
You need
Oh,
to do
no.
a disclaimer. These are the express written thoughts of Joe Clay.
Joe
And
Clay.
Not necessarily.
Alone.
1976 sports and culture. Please enjoy.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Get your grades right, Nehemiah. We pulling for you. Let's get
Yeah,
it.
That
I am
part.
definitely,
That part.
Show me
I
how
am
to
pulling
skate.
for him. Definitely pulling for this young brother. But no, again, I thought this was a good episode. I think we've said in the past, I've said in the past that I was really just watching it to support the school, but every storyline actually held my attention for this episode. So good. I think we've got 2 more left. I don't think one aired last week. One will air Sunday the 20th, I believe. So if you're not watching it, please go watch it, support the school, because if we don't, who will?